Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be in front of the camera and sharing my story with you today. Um, so everything, I'm sure everything that Barry has said has maybe resonated with you. It's the reason why I joined her program and not the other like 2 to 3 relationship coaches that that I had also like kind of dabbled in their training sessions, if you will. Um, so a little bit about me. I am I am 38, never married, don't have kids, but literally like right out of college thought like that was what was going to happen for me. It's what I wanted. Um, and so I've I've had a couple of long-term relationships that obviously didn't end well, otherwise I wouldn't be here. But when I came into Barry's program, one of the reasons I came to her was because I could not get over my exes. Um, I had one who cheated on me, but yet I was still pining for him like 3 years later. I asked my therapist, I'm like, what do I need to do? Like, I'm doing all of this like inner work, healing myself. And she was like, everybody just it takes time for everybody, there's you it just takes time. I finally got to a point where I was like, I think I was ready to date again. So I, did that. Next relationship I was in, he turned out he wanted a poly relationship, which was not something that I was looking for. So in any case, and yet I was also still pining for him. So I am very familiar with that vicious cycle of dating and then trying to figure out what's wrong with me, and like because they don't want me, like what's wrong with me? Like I thought, I think I'm smart, I think I'm pretty, like I'm stable, like I have a good job, like I am ready to be that like domestic housewife. Anyway, so yeah, so one of the things that I came to Barry for, because what I loved about her program is that there is an actionable plan. Like that makes sense. And that's when you're just floundering around, like, and you don't know what the hell you're doing, excuse my language, but I would have been married 20 years ago. I would have had like at least 4 kids under my belt already. And this was not, I'm not where I wanted to be. And I didn't, therapy didn't work. Like the meditations and the self-healing and the introspective, like all that time, like, so yeah. So Barry's program, she told me what it was about and how connected we were. Like the connection between us, like on that first call that we had. I mean, I could have talked to Barry for, I think I was I crying? Like,
Yeah.
I think I was, because I was just so like, I don't know what to do. Help me. And yeah, so I, I, I think I am so grateful for having found Barry, because not only did the program help me like yes, ultimately the idea is to find your soulmate, but I didn't realize how much of like, and I thought, yeah, I thought I had done the work, right? Like, 'cause that's all I've been doing the last 20 years, like, or so, but there was so like, and I had what I learned was that my childhood wasn't as unicorn and rainbows as I thought it was. Like, I didn't experience like, sexual trauma or like abuse, like I had a good childhood. I was very lucky, and both of my parents are still together. They're still married, but there were things that I found out that, you know, through Barry's program that I wasn't aware of that was creating blockages, and really it showed me how I present myself to work, like in the world, not just in dating, but in the world. Like it it taught me I realized why, you know, people at work, like certain people at work annoy me. Like that little those little nuances. So yeah,
Yeah,
I just answered.
definitely. And so what did you, that is so true. So there are things, everyone, that you don't know. And Steph was, even though she was really self-aware and she did this healing and this meditation, it didn't tie in to like changing her self-worth, right? And so just being around self-growth or talking about it or calming your nervous system or understanding it intellectually, she did not have an embodiment, right? For really high self-worth. And look at her now. Like she's made so many changes.
Like the connections that Barry helped me see and put together, like were connections that my like years of therapy didn't show me. Like, right, like because you when you go to therapy, you look at your past, right? But there's no connection to what you want in the future, and how, you know, like, and how to connect to that. Like, I don't know. So yeah, so the connections, like the realizations, and it's the program is such it is a go at your own pace, and that allows you to really like internalize and really look at yourself when you do the work. Like it really opens up um a lot of things, and you know, as long as you're in a space of, you know, being open-minded and receptible to being coached, like there's so much to learn about yourself and what you want. Like again, I feel like I've always known what I wanted, but now I have like a clear distinction as to, yeah, I don't want just a marriage, like I and kids, like, you know, I want a marriage that involves like a partnership and traveling, and I want at least two kids. Like very much more like getting clarity and specific, and like so you're not, you know, so that's why I'm excited about dating, because I have this different perspective and vision now about like this is what I want. I'm not going to settle. Like I'm not, and one of the mantras that we learned in phase one of the mantras that you'll learn in like phase one is not dating potential. Like don't date potential. And that is exactly what I have been doing like leading up to this point. Mystery dating, and oh yeah, you want a long-term relationship? Great. Okay, so do I. Let's, you know, like, do you want kids? Oh, maybe down the line. Like, okay, maybe I'll wait around until you come around. You know? No, be on like, right. We want somebody that meets us where we are right now.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's so beautiful. And things that take us years and years to figure out when the therapist says, oh, it takes time. It takes time for these breakups to heal wounds. No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Right. When we work in a pragmatic approach and we're operating from reason and logic that is disconnecting from the real reason we pine over people that are emotionally unavailable. One of Stephanie's boyfriends cheated. Another one wanted a polyamorous relationship. Hello? Look at this woman. She wants a connected, she wants her man, but we pine over them because it's really something else, right? It's really something else. And that's
you like
something
how you
else.
see yourself. Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's an example of getting something handled because conventional wisdom is really bad. oh, time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't. What heals wounds, what allows us to be in reality, in effectiveness, is an alignment within ourselves where we're uncollapsing and disconnecting and learning things and new synapses. Because remember, everyone, we've had 20, 30, 40, 50 years of thinking a certain way. And just like Steph saw her childhood a certain way, well, we saw it a little bit differently, right? We're not knocking or shaming or blaming. It's just like a new observer view that propels us into ahas and breakthroughs. And that's where effectiveness comes in. And that's when, boom, divine providence can really work for you. Steph, I'm so excited for you. You watch. Months from now, Stephanie is going to have this amazing man who sees her and loves her and spoils her and already wants those two kids, is already dreaming of her, right? But in order to make that happen, he's over here at this high vibe and ready, and we're over here in this unresolved stuff that we don't even know is unresolved. So you see, we're doing like a 180. Exactly. So what are you most excited about now, Steph?
No more mystery dating and just being really clear about what I want and whether, my my potential dates, right? Or who I invite fits into my picture, my vision of what I want, you know? So,
What you want and what you need and what you really deserve. Not just the lip service, but really
oh yeah.
knowing it because we've gotten to the root of everything. It's like we live on this 5-acre property and we have an invasive species that grows around here. It's called an air potato. And it's like a potato thing, and then it's got a vine. And that vine, if you let it grow, it'll pull down a tree, right? It's strong. It doesn't really belong here. It'll choke a tree, it'll pull it down. But guess what? If you just cut it at the vine, it's just gonna grow back. Like it's not handled. So what we do is we go in there and we dig out the potato. And that's what we're doing in your love life. And the inner shifts, actually, it just takes 3 to 4 weeks. Really. That's why 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And like Steph said, you get to embody it, you get to process it, you get love work, we talk about it. This is not like, oh, heavy duty, like analysis. This is fun. This is ahas. This is, oh, I didn't know that.
You get
Right?
to feel like I didn't know what, you know, people say like, oh, enlightenment and empowered and all of this stuff. And those were concepts that like they sound great. They really do. Like, and that's the dream. That's great. That's I wish I could have that. And it wasn't until joining Barry's program where I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to be empowered. Like in the driver's seat, like this is what it feels like. I like it's a and this is why I'm here. Really, this is why I'm here. And this is why I'm sharing that story because I didn't know what it was like to feel this way, to feel in control, like and clear on what I want and how to go about it, that I wanted to share it with you. So
That's who she is. You're amazing. And she's so generous. And the man that gets you, wow, he's gonna feel like he won the lottery. Totally. And he's praying for you. And you're gonna feel the same way. Yeah, I see the time. So thanks, Steph, so much for sharing with everyone.